It's time for playoff racing. It's the round of 12 of the chase for the Cup here in Season 6 of the Pepsi Cup Series. And we welcome you all to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the most famous racetrack in the world. It's time for the Brickyard 400, the first of 3 races in this round of 12. 7 races remain to crown a champion. And today is sure to be a good one on the return to the 2.5-mile rectangle racetrack here in Indianapolis. Kyle Larson is your first one to watch. He's been so fast here at Indy in his career. He's been so fast this season. Has only got 1 win. We'll see if he can get a second here today. Denny Hamlin has won a bunch this season in search of his first championship. Can the 11 find victory lane? He starts outside of the front row. Brad Keselowski has been one of the playoff underdogs, but he has slowly but surely kept himself in the picture. Can the 6 go to victory lane, or will it be his teammate, Chris Buescher, who has dominated a bunch as of late, but has yet to find victory lane this season? We'll see how things shape out here today at the Brickyard as we get ready for 10 laps of racing. The field rolls off in the hands of Kyle Larson. Here's a look at the starting grid. As already mentioned, Larson is the pole sitter. He's alongside Denny Hamlin on row 1 with Reddick and Elliott in row number 2. Brad Keselowski is alongside William Byron in row 3. Christopher Bell and Michael McDowell are in row 4. They're all in the playoffs. Another playoff driver, Ross Chastain, is in row 5 alongside Noah Gragson, with Joey Logano alongside playoff driver Chris Buescher in row 6. Kyle Busch, he's in the playoffs. He's alongside Josh Berry in row 7. Martin Truex Jr. is a playoff driver. He's alongside Todd Gilliland in row 8. Row 9 is Bubba Wallace and the lowest starting playoff contender, Ryan Blaney. Row 10 is Jimmy Johnson and Matt DiBenedetto. Row 11, it's Carson Hocevar and Daniel Suarez, with row 12 being Ty Gibbs and Shane Van Gisbergen. Row 13 is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Harrison Burton. Row 14 is Josh Bilicki and Sammy Smith. In row 15, we have Ryan Preece alongside Jenson Button. And in row 16, it's Chase Briscoe alongside Chandler Smith. Row 17 is Eric Jones and Kaz Gralla. Row 18, John Hunter Nemechek and Justin Haley. And rounding out the field in row 19, we have Austin Dillon and Austin Hill. 2 Austins bringing up the back of the field today. 10 laps. 8 of the top 9 starters today are in the playoffs, with Reddick being the only one out. And it's going to be really hard to pass here at Indy, as it always is. As we look at the playoff grid, Hamlin, Elliott, Chastain, all 50 or more points above the cut line. Buescher, Bell, all finding themselves below, trying to fight their way into the next round. As the green flag is waving, we are racing in Indianapolis. Start by Kyle Larson. He'll clear Denny Hamlin. Track position going to be huge. These restarts could be the determining factor in who wins today's race. As Tyler Reddick settles into 3rd, the top 4 are already single file. Kyle Larson will lead the first lap here at this 2.5-mile long racetrack as Tyler Reddick uses the slipstream, uses the draft, and gets on by Denny Hamlin for 2nd. We're going to see a lot of passes at the end of the straightaways here today as people will be drafting up to the cars in front. I mean, it's really the only way to pass, and already tire issues. Michael McDowell in the wall. We saw smoke from the left front. He slams the turn 4 wall, and the caution is out early here in Indianapolis at only the conclusion of lap 2. A playoff driver already in deep trouble as McDowell hard into the outside wall. You saw there it was a tire, and it just went straight into the wall. It just rocketed straight, and that's a really hard and harsh impact. Indy is very harsh on tires, and the angles at which you hit these walls when you blow a tire mid-corner are not fun at all. But the green flag is back out. We are racing once again, and it's Larson versus Reddick. Reddick holding tough on the outside on the restart as they head out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. Oh, Christopher Bell goes around. He goes up and over, and we are back under caution. Big crash for Christopher Bell. Playoff contender. Wow. Big wreck on down the back straightaway. The car catching air out of turn 2. Let's take a look at what happened here. Just got turned by Chris Buescher. I don't know if that was a late block or if Buescher tried getting back in line. It almost looks like it was a late block on Christopher Bell's part. He just turned himself off the nose, and it looks like once he hit the wall, he didn't really scrub off much speed because that inside wall is not too far from the track here at Indianapolis. He didn't scrub up much speed, it looks like, and when he hit that wall, it just barely picked the car up enough for the air to catch it and flip over. But we're ready to go back racing here on lap 5. There are points on the line 1 lap from now as we're back underway, and these playoff drivers need to get all they can get. Larson not with a good restart. Elliott takes second as Reddick clears for the lead. Byron to third. Disaster on the restart for Kyle Larson. He's already lost 3, 4, 5, 6 points by the looks of it. He fell out of turn number 2. Looks like he might have tagged the wall. Bad moment for Kyle Larson, who's only going to get, I think, 2 points at the halfway break when he was, in position to get 9 there. Tyler Reddick, the only one of 2 non-playoff drivers in the top 5, currently leads the race. Joey Logano being the other in 4th. So you see Kyle Larson has drifted all the way back to 7th. He will get 4 points, and Tyler Reddick's in the wall. His tire goes down, and that's just been the story of his season thus far. Such a strong car. Great track position, running up at the front, looking for decent points, and I guess at this point in the season, he's just looking for wins. But again, just like how it's been so often in the regular season, just things out of his control or crashes take him out of contention, and that's exactly why he missed the playoffs after having such a strong season. The consistency has just not been there this time, through no fault of his own, though, as we get ready for overtime here in Indianapolis. It's Chase Elliott and William Byron on the front row. Green flag back in the air. Who's going to get the stronger restart? It's instantly Chase Elliott. Elliott leads, won at Daytona a few races ago, looking for his 2nd win of the season as they are all fanning out 2 and 3 wide behind. Kyle Busch moving up in the 8. Here comes William Byron for 2nd. Byron wants a shot to win this race. 1 to go. Can Byron win this race? As, Joey Logano goes around. He tags playoff driver Kyle Busch. The caution is out. The race is over. Busch is hard on the inside wall and out of it, losing so many points with only half a lap to go. And Chase Elliott will come around to win the Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis over Byron and Chastain. But major implications for Kyle Busch. And it wasn't even his own fault. Logano lost it in front of him, hit the inside wall. And remember what I said about that wall being so shallow, as in there's not much runoff off the inside of this racetrack before you impact that wall. He bounced right back out in front of traffic and collected Kyle Busch. I mean, that's just unlucky. Even at Kansas last week, if that same wreck happens, Logano does not come back out in front of the racetrack. And even if he does, Kyle Busch will be well past by the time he does get back up on the racing surface. Just so unlucky for the 8 there. As here's a look at the finishing results. Chase Elliott, William Byron, Ross Chastain, all in the playoffs. Same for Buescher, Hamlin, Truex, Larson. A lot of drivers getting good points. However, some drivers, not so much. Ryan Blaney only managed to climb to 13th, but it gets even worse for some of the other drivers such as McDowell, Bell, and Busch, who all failed to make it to the finish here today and find themselves in a deep hole. All 3 drivers will be going into next race at Watkins Glen below the cutoff line. It's going to be a really tough day for those guys, and they're going to need good days. Of course, all 3 of the playoff drivers are very strong on road courses. One of the three has won at Watkins Glen, that one being Kyle Busch, with Bell and McDowell both also showing lots of speed on road courses. And honestly, it's surprising Michael McDowell's never won at Watkins Glen. Such a dramatic finish to this race. Kyle Busch 6 points below the cutoff line. Brad Keselowski 6 points above. Blaney's 6 down. McDowell minus 26. Bell minus 31. Meanwhile, at the top of the scoring tables, it looks like Elliott, Chastain, and Hamlin, they're not mathematically locked in, but they all pretty much have an entire race's advantage over the cut line. They're pretty much safe unless something absolutely catastrophic happens in the next two races at the Glen and Bristol. The next round will be Darlington, Orange County, and Talladega, with Kansas rounding out our season for the Championship 4. What a race it was here today from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I hope you all enjoyed today's race, and I hope to see you all back here in Watkins Glen in a couple of weeks. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. So long. Have you ever wondered how you could watch every single race of the Pepsi Cup series and have them all at your fingertips? Scroll down to the playlist tabs and then select the season playlist of your choosing, and then select the race in which you wish to watch. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and enjoy all of the racing action here on the Firelinks Racing Network.